Hey, how's it going there, guys? Jeremy again here, Consciousness Awake. Thanks for coming back to the channel. I appreciate all of you. I want to talk about. There's a couple things I want to talk about first, and then I want to get into spirit guides because I haven't really. I don't think I've actually really spent like a decent amount of time just kind of getting into spirit guides, so that's what I want to do. Um, Before I do, though, quick thing on the community page this past few days, I've had two different polls. One is an out of body experience poll, an OBE poll, and the other is a lucid dreaming poll. So actually, let me see what the results are at the moment. One moment here. Let me get into my page. Okay, so the OB poll, so far we have 48 people who've voted, so almost 50 people. Thank you very much. And on that one, I'm not really surprised. I am surprised that there's so many of you who've never had an out of body experience. So I see here with 48 people, 46% have not do not have any conscious memories, or at least were not completely consciously aware during maybe even some spontaneous out of body they probably did have, but they just can't remember it. But almost half of you haven't had one. Wow. So that really helps me kind of like, with like future video content and that kind of stuff. So that there is a purpose to these polls. It helps navigate how I structure what I say in my videos and whatnot. But there's still a lot of you who have had out of body experiences, and so it says 35% have had at least 1 to 9, and then there's several of you who've had more than 10, more than 100 OBs. So not surprising, right? Because I think that people don't understand. People who are not familiar with astral projection, they assume it's something like impossible or magical or fantasy or an illusion, just our imaginations, all that kind of stuff. But it actually, the truth of the matter is astral projection is definitely real, and a lot of people have them. It's almost like a natural part of our experience here. It's almost like a natural thing to have astral projection experiences. The only question is how consciously aware. How consciously aware are we during those times and during that process? And then in the lucid dream poll, that one was just put out a few days ago, so about 40 people have voted so far, and not surprising at all, almost 80% have said yes to having a lucid dream experience. 20% roughly said no. So that makes sense because lucid dreaming is a lot easier to achieve than an actual out-of-body experience. So I'm not surprised by that. And remember, for you 80% that said yes to lucid dream, for the 80% of you guys, the way you felt when you were in that lucid dream it is very similar to how it feels when you're out of your body. Get familiar with that feeling, even if it isn't a lucid dream, because lucid dreaming to me is almost, it is like another type or form of astral projection, because you are consciously aware in a dream body, and you are also aware that your physical body is laying in bed and that you are not in your body and you're in your dream body. So there's that bilocation element. So definitely. All right, now that we've gone in 4 minutes on that, again, thank you for doing the polls. I really appreciate it. And for you guys who are trying to have more lucid dreaming and out-of-body experiences, I highly recommend you change the way you sleep. I think the next, I'm going to do that in the next video, a new way to sleep. A new way to sleep. It's just a new perspective on how to sleep, to help induce more conscious, aware, lucid dreaming, out of body experiences, all that type of stuff, so that we can evolve our own consciousness on our own time during a certain part of the day. Alrighty, so let's talk about spirit guides. Okay, spirit guides. Not everyone has spirit guides. I mean, most people have at least one spirit guide. A lot of us have two spirit guides, and then others have more. And also, yes, sometimes spirit guides they sign up. They sign up to be a guide to a particular soul. That's, let's just say, in a human body, because we live here on this earth. With these what we call human bodies, so let's just focus on that. And so they've been assigned to guide you. Do they always? Are they always there? No, they're not always there. Spirit guides tend to show up more and try to communicate more when you are in certain types of situations in your life, and you're distressed, stressful times. They also communicate with you when you need to get certain communications or downloads from them. Sometimes it's their job to nudge you, just like how a demonic being can nudge your train of thought. So can, in a positive way, beneficial way, a spirit guide can nudge your thoughts to help protect you from something that might be harmful to you. Or sometimes they'll even help you to not run into a particular person, like a person that you might have run into and develop a relationship with, and that relationship would have, let's say, turned out to be tragic and just really toxic. And sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes we do, manage to get ourselves into toxic relationships and stuff. And stuff happens. It's part of the experience. I'm just throwing out examples here. And these the spirit guides, people who have actually signed on to for that position, right? Their consciousness, the being who's your spirit guide, their consciousness is centered, like how our consciousness is centered here in this human body. Their consciousness is centered in whatever different realm they're centered in. So, people's spirit guides can be centered in all the different realms. They can be coming from the spiritual realm. They could be coming from the mental planes, from the astral planes, even from the etheric plane, the next layer out beyond this physical plane. Even there, they could be there. They can also be, now, maybe you won't all agree with this, but I don't care. Actually, look at my my coffee mug. It says, I do not, there he goes, I do not care. Well, anyways, fitting, right? Perfect timing. That was really spontaneous, trust me. All right, so I don't care if you don't, agree with everything I say. So I'm not afraid to say what I want to say. I believe that spirit guides, people's actual spirit guides, can also, not all the time, it's not rare either, but it's not like it happens all the time or anything. They can be in a human form. They can be in a human body. It can be somebody who's signed up. Maybe they're not even totally consciously aware that they've signed up to be a spirit guide, and their just natural instinct and impulse is to just care and take care of other people around them and whatnot. So spirit guides, I believe, aren't just coming from non-physical realms. They can be in the human form. So it could be your mom. It could be, a cousin or a brother or a friend. A lot of times it's friends. It's some person you run into certain times of your life that really, really boosts your vibration, right? and really gets you through difficult times. So, that's my perspective on it. So spirit guides can be in a human form. They can come from all these different non-physical realms that their consciousness is centered in. And, and the thing too is that spirit guides who are in the etheric plane, in what I call the 4D or fourth dimension or whatever, spirit guides who are centered there can also be like a bloodline or a friend or someone else, other being. And sometimes they've been assigned, they want to be your spirit guide, right? But unfortunately, the thing is that when consciousness is centered for a really long time in the etheric plane, the etheric body needs to feed and get energy source so that the etheric body doesn't die. And so sometimes if you have a guide that's trying to actually care and loves you and all that kind of stuff, they have to also absorb some of your etheric energy. And it's not vampirism. I'm not talking about etheric vampires, or I'm not talking about that, or astral parasites, or any of these things. I'm not talking about that. It's a different type of way that a spirit guide that's in the etheric plane. It's just a different way that they extract the energy. It's a very it's like they just kind of like sit near you, like that kind of thing. They just sit down near you. They kind of like, it's kind of like when you're camping and you have the campfire going and you're sitting in your chair and you kind of like feel the waves of the heat, like they're coming through the air, but you're just close enough to where you can feel and absorb the heat with your physical body. But you're not getting burned. There's nothing negative going on. It's just like a beneficial thing. So, and also, it's about intent too. So the problem is that some of the beings that are more negative, and the vampires and all that kind of stuff, it's all about mental intention also, because it's the thought and the intent that really ultimately is what the gauge is to if something is taking energy from something in a really negative way, or if something is taking energy from something in a neutral way where maybe both people benefit from it. It's a positive. Okay, so that there's all kinds of different scenarios and things going on. So anyhow, I'm at 13 minutes here. All right, so I hope that we kind of at least talked about, or that I talked about at least a few different aspects about spirit guides. There's honestly so much to talk about. Like for example, when your spirit guide is trying to communicate to you, and if they're like in a higher up realm or higher up plane where the frequency is much more faster, everything's vibrating faster, and they're trying to send you a message and communicate to you while your consciousness is in its frequency range, right? It's vibrating a certain speed, while inside the human form, it can be frustrating for spirit guides because they're trying to give you a message, but you're so closed off from receiving it and understanding it and downloading it properly, because your frequency level, your vibrational frequency as consciousness, as a soul, is down here, and they're like trying to talk to you, and they're like up here, right? So does that mean that spirit guides are always trying to communicate and talk to you? No, they're not. But sometimes what happens too is people set their own mental intention, their own desire to communicate themselves to their spirit guides, or to get the names of the spirit guides and those kinds of things. And sometimes if you put enough meditation, enough focused thought, enough concentration of your mental energy, and you're pumping that frequency out. Like if you're doing that for a few days, it's very high likelihood. It's very likely that whatever your questions are, that your spirit guide will get back to you through dream state, or they'll get back to you while you're in your wakeful state. So you just have to learn how to recognize different aspects of when a guide is trying to communicate with you, and get you information. So and that's like a whole other video right there, guys. So I don't want to go too long here. Now I'm at 16 minutes. So I want to say thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe if it's something that you find that's beneficial. We will talk more about spirit guides in future videos. If you could just, if you're hitting the like button, or if you're leaving positive comments about the video or questions, then that obviously tells me that you're interested in hearing more about spirit guides and stuff. So you let me know, okay? And on that note, you guys have a wonderful day. Sending you lots of positive energy, like always. Talk to you soon. Bye.